Just has settled on Travel Tuesday, and if you scored a cheap flight, you got to know what you're getting into. Before we get to that, though, CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg back now with Peter's pans and picks. And Peter, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is now recommending the Trump administration add another dozen countries or so to its travel ban list. And at this time, we don't know which countries are on the new list. If I'm a permanent resident, however, living in the U.S., hoping to visit my family in one of those countries, should I consider holding off for now, or what's the best course of action?
The answer is really unknown, because bottom line is we don't know the names of the countries. We don't know what they're going to actually use as metrics for that. The fear, of course, is palpable because people are afraid that if they leave the U.S., they won't be allowed to come back in. This goes back to 2017 with the Muslim ban that Trump tried to do. It didn't fly, all pun intended, but the impact was severe no matter what, because people were afraid to come. And we're not talking about immigration. We're talking about just basic cross-border traveling. The loss of revenue at that point was substantial. The loss of, and we're talking revenue across the board, airlines, hotels, tour operators, retail, you name it. And of course, until we hear the actual names of the countries they're going to pick for the next ban, we won't know the actual impact, but it will be severe either way you look at it.
Okay, starting in February, the TSA is charging travelers $45 if they don't have their real ID and or any sort of other authorized ID. And a lot of folks just bought plane tickets after Travel Tuesday. Could you see this causing some major issues at airports, perhaps, like delays or, any hang-ups?
Not really, and I'll tell you why. Because an overwhelming majority of American passengers already have their real ID, or they have something that qualifies for it, like a global entry card from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or a valid U.S. passport. So the bottom line is, if you've got those two documents, you don't need the real ID. But you know what? Do yourself a favor. If you don't, go to the Department of Motor Vehicles and get it. Right now, the TSA is considering charging $18 to get you through the lines if you don't have the proper ID. You still can get second and third party verification at that moment from the TSA, but that's require them to dedicate an agent to deal with you individually. In February, that's going to go up, according to the DHS and the TSA, to $45. It doesn't affect that many people, but in smaller airports where you have to dedicate a TSA agent to deal with one person individually, that could create delays.
Got it. All right, now, speaking of Travel Tuesday, were there really any flight deals? Because this is personal. I waited to book a flight. I did my homework a week ago. I waited to book a flight until yesterday, and I found, comparatively speaking, prices actually went up from a week ago. So what's your take on Travel Tuesday?
Well, the bottom line is you waited too long, number one. But number two, the real problem here is you always have to ask this question when you see a discount. A discount off what? Is it a discount off their highest published fare? Maybe not such a good deal. But I'm telling you this. We saw great discount deals on cruise lines of up to 35% off, on tour companies like a company called Colette that went 25% off on all their tours for 2026. That's a significant savings. Now remember, it's not every space on every tour or every seat on every plane. It's an attempt to raise incremental revenue on unsold inventory. But by the way, just because we've now gone beyond Travel Tuesday doesn't mean you're not going to see those pop-up sales happening through the rest of this year and early next, because this is the time of the year when travel goes down and they got to start selling some seats. So be on the lookout for it, but then act fast.
Yeah, all right, lesson learned. Peter, by the way, where are you today?
I'm in the French Riviera, in the city of Cannes.
Oh my gosh, that's on my bucket list for sure. So enjoy it, and we hope to talk to you soon, Peter. Thank you.
You got it, Dana.
All right. Now